that was on bye week. Yeah, the New York Jets. I'm hoping that Justin Fields can still be in the starting rotation after this bye week.
I think he will.
You have the Bucks. They was on the bye week as well. Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
I feel like Cleveland Browns is a complete watch list because everybody wants to see what's going to happen. You know, Myles Garrett right now, just off script a little bit. Myles Garrett right now is one of the top, obviously, pass rushers in the league right now. But he possibly could be on the trade block where you have teams that's trying to like give up the whole house for him right now.
I mean, you got some teams that'll give up the whole house.
You got the Philadelphia Eagles talking about 3 first-round draft picks.
I mean, come on, why not? Win now. Especially when you got the roster that they have to win now.
Yeah.
They're not hoping they can win now. They can really keep the dynasty train rolling. I mean, future is important, right? If you want to have the longevity, but you never know what those picks going to bring. I ain't mad at them.
Man, I ain't mad at them either. I was like between them or a team like the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I mean, the Chiefs don't really need them. But I'm looking at teams that's trying to compete to get to a Super Bowl and trying to win that thing. You can go ahead and do it. Man.
Shoot, Dallas.
Dallas is another one.
I'd let them things fly.
Yeah. Yeah. If Dallas could do it. If Dallas could
Myles
do it,
Garrett, you know what you're getting with him. And he's still youth. He's still pretty young.
Yeah, he is.
26, I think.
He's a little bit older.
29?
Yeah, about 29, somewhere up there. But still, for a pass rusher with his work ethic, kind of like a Derrick Henry work ethic in the offseason, but at a pass rush perspective, oh, man, he still got about 7-8 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Solid seasons.
Oh, yeah. In my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you were going to pay Micah anyways. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they let him go because they didn't want to pay him. They were going to pay him regardless.
Yeah.
And so if they're still going to play a high-profile defensive lineman, edge rusher, like they still have the bandwidth capacity to do that and still be all right with the roster that they have because it's not like they went out and spent a lot of money elsewhere.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what's going down. But, man, let's jump on in, man. What game you want to start with?
Man, let's talk about that game from last night. Seattle at Washington, man.
All right.
Seattle at Washington. Sam Darnold has been on a terror of just literally learning how to play the game of football. It's almost like now he's in his prime stage of, yes, I'm developed.
Yeah.
I'm poised. I'm confident. I have a good team around me. I have great coaches around me.
Yes, sir.
And arguably one of the most complete teams. I know I said a good team, but one of the most complete teams around him.
1,000%.
Solid running game, solid special teams unit of all phases of the kicking game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great on defense. They have excellent receivers, leading with Jigba. Yeah, Smith-Jigba. You know, like doing well, man. I was thinking about Sam Darnold. Do you know the first 13 passes of this game, he completed all of them?
Yeah.
Efficient.
I think it was 16-16 or something like that.
So yeah,
I think all said and done, 13 for 13 the first half.
First half,
with like
man.
4 tubs and I think 246 passing yards. But
2 touchdowns to a rookie wide receiver. Her name was Thornton, I believe.
He did his thing.
Did his thing, and then another one to one of them big Miami boys, rookie tight end from Miami. I forgot his name. Yeah, I think so.
Arroyo, yeah.
I was like, man, I was all like, now that's 3 touchdowns like that with no incomplete passes.
I think he even got a tub to like a 4th string receiver because they had a bunch of injuries. Like they don't understand. They only really have Smith-Jigba, who's their starter. I mean, T. Horton came up, I think, off from the kind of close to the end of the depth chart, but he's got his opportunity and he played well. All those guys are full of talent, right? They just got behind other guys who have great talent as well and haven't earned any reason for them to lose their spot. So it's good to see when teams have depth and somebody can step up and shine, one of them younger guys. But, man, he was doing it with what he had. You know, that was most impressive.
Yes.
He was slicing and dicing, like efficient. Like, he come in the game, that's where I'm going. His reading, you can tell somebody's locked in.
Very decisive, isn't he?
You can tell when somebody's locked in. That's what he looks like to me. He looks locked in. And that means you're focused. You know what I mean? That means you're on a regimen. You're taking it seriously. And it matters. It shows up, you know, when you actually are operating that way consistently It shows up through consistent play, and that's what I say. From last season to this season, he took that step. He had that little drop off in the playoffs, and he got the opportunity to start out in Seattle, and he went out there with the same energy.
Yes.
The same energy. So I think he's proven and stamped that he's here. You know what I mean? Like, he put in the work, he's showing the consistency, he's here. I think we're waiting on that out of Daniel Jones. Like, if Daniel Jones does this again kind of next year too, then we're like, all right, we're going to stamp you as, all right, you solid. But we're still looking over there in Indy like, okay, you got us for now. Keep it going.
Yeah.
You know. Because, hey, keep it going. Y'all got a good thing going. Keep it going.
Yeah, he definitely. We're definitely going to get to that game next because Daniel Jones, he has been on the tear, and then he had a little bit of a shakeup this past game. But before I get to that, man, I just want to say, man, really hope for a speedy recovery with Jaden Daniels because it looked like he completely dislocated his elbow. They kept showing the replay, and every time he kept landing on it, like it looked like it completely shattered. The way it looked, man. But yeah, he's been going through a few injuries, but it's tough seeing that for him. But definitely praying for a speedy recovery for him because this is his sophomore season. He's still a baby in the game technically. So I'm just really looking at Washington. Yeah. Hold on to him. Yeah. Don't get rid of him. None of that kind of stuff, man. He's gonna work through that stuff, but he's definitely your franchise quarterback for sure. It's just unfortunate because the game was low-key a little bit out of reach already. Actually, the game was already out of reach because I think they was putting
they came out
they
there. They came
guns and blazes.
They came out there. Sam Darnold was throwing them darts all over that field.
Oh, man.
He was darting them up.
Yeah, the game didn't even
darting them up, man. That defense was shutting them down.
Pass rush is crazy.
They were shutting them down.
Pass rush is crazy, man. Yeah, I feel you. Well, speaking of Daniel Jones,
yes, sir.
Indianapolis Colts was at Pittsburgh, where
I didn't see the entirety of that game.
It was actually a really, really, really good game, man. I will say this: the game was already kind of pre-put away with Pittsburgh coming out dominant against them, but at the same time, the Colts still put up a fight. So here was the thing: the thing about the Colts was they lost this game because of way too many turnovers. Yeah. Way too many turnovers. Daniel Jones threw 3 picks. Oof. But the picks that he had was kind of more so in the red zone where Warren had a chance to be able to score 2 touchdowns in the red zone. So you
give it points.
You give it points, and then so now you're gonna have to play catch up ball, and it was tough because Daniel Jones, he also had a couple of forced fumbles on him as well.
Dang.
Sack forced fumbles, and
hold that rock. He's trying to make up.
Yeah, but he still threw for over 300 yards. You can tell that I feel like he has a promising future still because you can tell even though with those 3 picks and even with the forced fumbles that was on him, and so he had 5 turnovers. You still have to watch how he was making plays that you could tell he's elevated his game.
Locked in,
yeah, he's still locked in. It was just unfortunate. This was a tough game, but you can tell, at least from the body language from his teammates, they're like, hey, we had a bad game, but we'll bounce back.
But and the thing about Pittsburgh is there's some bullies, man.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. There's some bullies on defense. That's just tough to come in there. They're going to beat you up. They're going to beat you up, and they're going to talk noise while they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like a good defense should.
Yeah. That pass rush was crazy.
They do what a good defense should. They're going to beat you up, and
TJ Watt is a fool, bro.
Yes, for those young quarterbacks, it's a tough bout. So, we'll make it as a learning lesson. A lot of them learn lessons against Pittsburgh. That's just a tough veteran defense, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's different playing your peers versus playing like grown-ass men who ain't playing with you.
That's like a kid trying to play a grown man domino. They know all the tricks.
Man, they gonna talk you off the doggone board, man, off the field. You gonna feel it and you gonna hear it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's tough to face Pittsburgh as a young QB. You need a little bit more time under your belt to know how to handle some of that intensified pressure. But I'll give that more so to Pittsburgh, and they still put up 20 points. So it seemed like they were still productive. But hopefully Daniel can learn from it. He needs that. I think sometimes when you're on the road, that's good. Good. Secure your spot. Make sure you're getting in the playoffs and everything. But sometimes you need that adversity. If you don't have one of them coaches that keep that fire blazing, like no matter how high you are,
Yeah.
they just know how to, hey man, we ain't done shit. You know what I mean? They just in your face. If you don't have one of those coaches and one of those people in the locker room, you need some type of adversity, some type of loss, some type of sour taste in your mouth to show you those areas of growth. Else you get complacent. And where you don't want to learn those areas of growth is in the playoffs. And that's what happens to a lot of these emerging teams, right? They start off hard and good and running through people and everything. And we give them the crown early. And then slowly but surely, sometimes they don't learn that lesson soon enough. And they learn it in the playoffs during the wild card or during the divisional or whatever. And we're like, dang, they looked completely different. You know what I mean? They didn't play their game. Sometimes you need to get outside your game, get smacked a little bit, learn where to toughen up, and learn how to stay poised and finish that thing out before you get to the playoffs. So some L's are actually beneficial. But anyway,
Well, to your point, I was thinking, yeah, they're going to figure it out because this is week 9, so next week is officially week 10.
yep,
The meat and potatoes of the season is here.
it's
You,
here.
you're filleting, you're cutting down the steaks right now, and you're eating the potatoes right now in the season. So when I
It's
think
a
of,
wrap.
for real, so when I think about like with them right now, they got to get back to the formula. Hey, feed Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
He's your meat and potatoes. Feed him so that way you can still have an efficient offense. That way you don't feel like you have to play catch up ball. But just like any other team, they definitely have to limit
keep
those
feeding.
mistakes.
Yeah. You know, for 2 seconds, let's pop over to Jacksonville, Las Vegas.
Yes.
Oh man, I just wanted to highlight the Raiders for a minute because there's not a lot of bright spots, and I know Jacksonville won that game. Las Vegas, man, you know, I saw the fans were excited during the comeback and the competitive nature of the game. It was good just to see them fight. You know what I mean? It was really good to see two teams scrapping it out because I know they both really want to win really bad. And they both got, you know what I mean, some injuries and stuff that they're coming through. But it was nice to see Geno putting that ball out there where it needed to be. Man, I tell you who was crazy is Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Man, he is really a talented kid. You know, the way he caught that ball and exploded at his size,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You really kind of see, you know, the depth of his bag, of the skills that he has. Not only good hands, he can block, he also had those wheels. Big time weapon for them. And I also want to talk about Ashton Gentry. Every time he gets the ball, it's just like you never know what's going to happen. Because I think that's what the play I saw. He caught it and he exploded up and kind of, it looks simple. It looks easy, like him just running away from a body tug. But people don't understand that a lot of those tugs take people down.
They do.
You see what I'm saying? Like the way he caught it and he just and he'll burst through a tackle and keep on running. For a lot of guys, that's not a touchdown.
No, not at all.
You know, dude is really out there putting in work and getting his.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't really a lot of stuff coming easy. He's breaking 2, 3, 4 tackles, making sure that, you know, the limited touches that he's getting, he's doing something with. So kudos to Ashton Gentry, but also good to see Jacksonville pull one out.
Yeah, I mean, Ashton Gentry, like the whole NFL knows who he is coming straight out the draft. So, it may not be as pretty as a lot of fans may like to see when it comes to seeing him break a whole lot of long touchdowns in his first rookie season and stuff like that. But you have to watch his game and really see the talent that is actually there, that even though he's getting targeted like that and he doesn't have too much talent around him right now when it comes to different blocking schemes and everything,
Yeah,
he's still extremely, extremely effective.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good time, man. How you feel about Jacksonville?
Well, Jacksonville, I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but based off of how they've been playing in these last weeks, Jacksonville just has to get back to being who they are. And what I mean by that is they need to be running the football.
Man, you ain't lying. You took the word out of my mouth.
They have to run the football. Yeah, Travis Etienne, he needs to get the football more. But what I do like is that they finally found a way to get back to winning because they were on a streak where they started off 4-0 in the season.
Yeah.
And then they started losing back to back. But it's just from just kind of going away from who they are. When you try to get Trevor Lawrence to kind of throw the ball so much and they're trying to look like a pass first offense, what that does is that puts your defense in a hole where they have to work extra hard. And now you have to play catch a ball, and now you play even more mistake-free football than you've ever did before because you don't give yourself no wiggle room with the lack of a running game. So,
yeah, man, everybody wants to do it the pretty way, right? Everybody wants to do it with 500 yards and 6 touchdowns and no interceptions, right? They want to light it up,
yeah,
and get those long, deep bomb passes and everything. Like sometimes you just gotta play not basic, but complex Foundational.
Fundamentally sound football.
Fundamentally sound. Gritty, grimy, Super Bowl winning football. Gritty, grimy, Super Bowl winning football.
2 tight ends set
Get it done.
Yes.
Get it done. Get it done, no matter how it looks. And we look at the Eagles. They're a good example of getting it done no matter how it looks. Even the Chiefs, honestly, if you take a look, because Patrick Mahomes ain't always lighting it up every game. Sometimes he has receivers running in for a touchdown. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice are running in. You know what I mean? You look at these guys now. Got guys throwing touchdowns in the Chicago Bears. So many receivers are throwing in these touchdowns. Like, just get it done. Mm-hmm. It don't have to be pretty.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be picture perfect. Trevor Lawrence coming in there, averaging 400 yards a game. Like, that may not be the reality. You might have to run it through ETN's back. You might have to do that. You might have to have a 2-3 different running back set. Kind of look at Tampa Bay has had pretty good success with whatever roster they had running with high-level running backs and putting the ball in their hand. You know what I mean? It might be the way to go because it seems like when they run through with the running backs, they have success. They get away from it. Next thing you know, we're talking about what happened to Jacksonville. So, but good to see they pulled that out. That's a long field goal that got kicked at the end.
Yeah, and just like
they broke that record,
67 yards.
Ooh, yeah. 68.
Ooh, hey, whatever it was, any of them being in the 60s, yeah, deal right there,
hey, man.
And that coach was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, man, we need that. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure y'all did.
I bet you did.
I bet you did need that
one. Yeah. Man.
Oh man, did you get a chance to check out Minnesota in Detroit?
You know what I was going to ask you about them? I didn't see the entirety of that one.
Man, so
but I saw Minnesota pulled it out, which means J.J. McCarthy came back. He must have been showing out.
They got their dog back.
Okay.
They got their dog back. So
is he like that?
He really is like that. So he gives me a Jackson Dart type of willpower when it comes to him running because you got to remember, J.J. McCarthy went through a few injuries himself. So for him to always be trying to still run the football to create first downs, be able to create opportunities for his team and stuff like that.
Buddy.
That is huge because that means his psyche is extremely strong.
Yeah, buddy.
What does that mean for the team? They believe it. Because whenever your quarterback's a dog, that makes everybody going to be a dog.
Oh, man, start at the top.
It starts at the top because he's the head of the snake. And so defense has been holding the fort down. Defense looked really, really good yesterday against Detroit. But it's really what J.J. McCarthy's willing to do in crucial moments, and that's running for key first downs. So that was actually the biggest piece. But he ended up finishing with 2 touchdowns. He had an interception and whatnot. But, I mean, overall, the way that defense has been playing, that interception didn't hurt him too much. Mm-hmm. But overall, man, they look like they're primed to kind of get back to getting back on that winning track now since he's back.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad they're having success. Minnesota's been slowly building a really good team around that head coach, man, for a little bit now. And he just always had some unfortunate injuries come along the whole entire way. But they've had a good roster. Like, it's tough to see Aaron Jones Sr. can't really stay healthy because he's so good. Mm-hmm. When he's in that offense, it's just a different offense, man. He's electrifying. When he gets that ball, it's lightning in the bottle. For whatever reason, he just lifts up the productivity of that offense. But I think he went down. I was battling injury, so it's good that they got J.J. McCarthy back, man. Hopefully that'll regulate that offensive structure so that they can be consistent with putting up points because we'll see what they can do. The defense has always been pretty solid. And I didn't get a chance to see the entirety of the game, but I think teams need to be taking note right now when Detroit actually loses because it don't happen often. You might want to be paying attention to whatever that sauce is. And slowly taking these notes because Detroit's not going to be nothing to play with in the playoffs.
Yeah, because Minnesota may not be nothing to play with in the playoffs too if they can stay healthy because they went to Detroit.
Yeah, for sure.
And beat them last night, which is, that is huge because that's a tough environment to play in.
It is.
Especially when you talk about one of the most creative offenses in the league along with a smash and dash type of running style with David Montgomery and Gibbs, Mark Gibbs. So when you have those two, and you were able to stop them two plus stop a creative offense with a solid defense, yeah, that's a real win. Because Detroit has put themselves in that upper echelon with the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs of the world, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hell yeah.
They're up there with them.
They really have. Mm-hmm. And kudos, man. You know, swinging over to, you see that Buffalo KC game?
Buffalo and KC, speaking of them two, I actually did watch that game. Watch that game a little bit. So, Buffalo definitely pulled off that game. Josh Allen had a good game, man.
Yeah.
But I will say the MVP of that game has to be James Cook. Every time I see him run that football, man, he looks just like his older brother, Dalvin Cook.
He looks exactly like his older brother.
It just
more slippery.
I see why they paid him that much, because he's an explosive player away from scoring a long touchdown or putting them in a situation where they're finishing that game off strong. I was actually, highly surprised that Buffalo pulled off that game, only because of the fact that Kansas City's been on a really, really good hot streak. You know, they got everybody healthy, so it makes you kind of wonder if a part of this is Buffalo's year to lose again.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. If you play fantasy football, yesterday I was thinking, you have these lines, and sometimes I get a feeling that certain teams are going. You know, we've been kind of throwing out them projections throughout the season this year, and we've been pretty spot on. And yesterday was one of those ones I was like, yeah, Buffalo's going to win again this time. And it's a mental thing, I think, and for whatever reason, I think that KC is a little bit mortal when it comes to Buffalo. I don't know why. It's just because they're so different, but so productive in the same regard. They can still go toe-to-toe with them. They have a different type of a team setup and dynamic. And I think it's such a respect factor there. Like, it humanizes KC a little bit. I don't know why. I just feel like certain teams, certain opponents you have just have your number. You just kind of look like, man, we playing, what's it called? You know what I mean? Like, man, they always just got on. It's some kind of like gray cloud. And for whatever reason, when it comes to KC, but it's always a slugger knot. You know, and then the tide shifts. Like, Buffalo really has that stigma in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs. It's a lot of extra pressure on them to actually make it over the hump because they haven't been there in so long. So then you see it shift. And then Buffalo kind of sometimes struggles a little bit to get past KC deep into the playoffs. But anyways, I wasn't surprised about the game yesterday. I think, Josh Allen came out focused. He wasn't playing around with KC from the jump street. He came out darting them up, running that ball. James Cook, to your point, is just electrifying, man. He could break the play. He could break the game open at any given time. He's just one of those backs. And he stays pretty healthy so far this season, so that's a good sign.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like Buffalo does what – so Buffalo, I feel like the last few seasons have actually strategically built their team to beat and compete against Kansas City, because that has been literally their Achilles heel for many, many years, right? And so whenever I look at them and I think about like Baltimore Ravens and what they have, because they kind of have a similar team that can go toe-to-toe with a Kansas City type of Chiefs type team, it makes me so frustrating as a Baltimore Ravens fan. And it's only because of the fact that they have the same type of team as the Buffalo Bills, where they can find different ways to control the clock. Because sometimes Kansas City, they don't do nothing fancy. They just control the clock when you're behind. They just play keep away. And so all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes is dinking and donking. Next minute, the time of possession is like 16 minutes or 2 minutes or something like that. The next minute, they're winning the game because of time of possession, because their defense is so fresh. Well, what did Buffalo Bills do? They try to go out and get some solid wide receivers for Josh Allen and get a running game, get tight ends, and they try to build an offense around, because they've always been just like how the Jets are and just like how the Bears used to be too. Defense without no offense, right? But eventually they started getting offense because they realized, hold on, Kansas City, that's what they do. And they have a solid defense, but they got to have it. I'm just thinking, Baltimore, I'm curious to see how Baltimore is going to do. Like, literally, now since Lamar Jackson is back.
Dink and dunk, the game is over.
Yes, bro.
That's exactly how it goes.
With Kansas City, yes, dog.
You let them get a little bit of 10-point lead, man, they're going to rock you until that game is done.
Over.
Run it with Hunt, run it with Pacheco, dig it down, dig it.
Why do you think Buffalo signed James Cook? They said, no, you're an investment to this program because of who we have to face to get to that Super Bowl every single year as long as Pat Mahomes is here.
It's like Philly, bro. They will push you to death.
What?
You
like a video game.
That's petty. Philadelphia petty. They will just touch again and again. They'll go 50 yards.
They don't care. You gotta stop it. They can't nobody.
got them to do a sideways, get run over. They got to go on all four, get run over. They try to lay on the ground, get run over. They try to jump on the top, get run over. They can't do nothing with Philadelphia and that team. That is the pettiest play.
The other teams try to do it, they can't do it.
He went big old Josh Allen. He struggled barely getting in.
Yeah, he did it. Oh, and that goal line touchdown, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna line me down and get way up.
He was actually stood all the way up.
That's what's funny, man. And Philly O-linemen, some dogs, bro.
They are.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Buffalo and KC. Dickin and Duncan. Yeah, that time clock management is an unhidden greatness hack. Like all the greats know how to manage the game from the beginning to the end. They're playing game management from the beginning of the game, not towards the end. Mm-hmm. They already know how it's flowing. Like you're in their game. There ain't no secret why it's the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
They're purposely not go for a shot or go for a shot at certain times intentionally because they don't want to burn too much off the clock. You know what I mean? Like they're just smart about it. Those are the little synchronicities and little small, intricate little components of the game that make people wizards and make them consistently good, right? It's hard to be consistently good. It's okay to have your year and you got your group of guys and y'all just got it going. It's all bought in. Boom, you make it happen. But to do it again and again and again after everybody has your number, you got to be different. You got to look at the game different. And that's definitely a component that should be highlighted that you said for sure, that time management of the game.
Yep, because after seeing shout out to Snoop Huntley from last week, help Baltimore Ravens to get a dub, and then Lamar Jackson coming back on Thursday Night Football playing against the Miami Dolphins and being able to throw I think 4 touchdowns and help them catch another dub. This is the time where now their confidence needs to get back up because they have to remember who they are.
Yeah,
you have Lamar Jackson, you have Derrick Henry, and you have slot receivers. This is all designed to be a play away from a long touchdown explosive play, or we can dink and dunk you just like how Kansas City does. Because Kansas City had them weapons.
Yeah, man.
Literally the exact same weapons. They kind of have similar weapons as Baltimore already. And if they just if they was just a little more creative on their offense to be able to make time possession better for them, it would be good. But point being, all of these great teams have running quarterbacks, man.
For sure.
New York Giants, Jacksonville, Cam Ward, Tennessee Titans.
You better get your boogie on.
J.J. McCarthy for the Minnesota Vikings. Hold on, but wait, there's more. You also have super sophomore Bo Nix.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah, he's fine.
I'm gonna call him a super sophomore. He ain't no sophomore.
Good title.
Super sophomore Bo Nix, who ain't afraid to tote that pill either.
Nope.
And so now what's happening is a lot of them are actually watering down that Lamar Jackson is actually more normalized.
Yeah.
Because all these other quarterbacks, they got to tote that pill unless you are fully developed into who you are, like a Sam Darnold, where you know how to, two-step out of there. I know my first to fourth read. You know, no matter what, I already know what's popping. Then it's going to be a lot of running quarterbacks. And so now what happens? Well, time possession is a popular thing because when you go down to it, you know, I'm talking about Philly, they just get it done. Sometimes Jalen Hurts has 4 touchdowns passing, 100 yards throwing.
I'm telling you.
4 touchdowns passing, 100 yards throwing.
So they're going to push you all the way down to that goal line. Pop it in there, AJ Brown. They're going to wear your ass out. All the way down and pop that ball in with Saquon.
No,
you forgot about him? Man.
They try to rock you to sleep before they bust like explosive plays on
some bullies, bro.
It's bullying ball, but the thing is that it's strategic, like time management football, because now the defense is fully fresh. That is the blueprint. So until more teams get into that program, well, you know what? I think more teams are getting into that program because now every team in the NFL has at least 2 losses. That's a huge going into week 10.
Oh yeah,
that's huge because what's going to happen is I think now this is going to get in shape where a lot of these teams are 3-4. 3-4. I'm talking about like the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
They're going to go on the streak. So they're gonna start beating teams that are up.
Facts.
It was 5-2.
They're getting healthy.
They're getting healthy. Yeah. Same thing with Baltimore.
For sure.
They're gonna do the same thing. The Colts, let's just see where they end. They're 7-2 now. They could end 9-2, something like that, or 9-8, something like that, or 9-6, whatever. 9-7. There you go. Mm-hmm. They could end like that. So who knows? But point being is there's going to be a lot of different teams that are not going to necessarily be with huge winning records. Yeah. Where it's going to be a little bit of a juggernaut trying to get into the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
I really think so. But
that's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of juggernaut, so when I was talking about the super sophomore and Bo Nix. Yep. So, Denver, they went to Houston.
Yeah.
Bo Nix and them boys, they was in a defensive matchup with C.J. Stroud and them boys. But it's unfortunate C.J. Stroud actually got hurt in the first half. Do you remember what happened with him? I know he got injured. I just forgot exactly what happened.
It's just, the excitement of the game is just sometimes it comes with a responsibility to contain yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get excited and just get lost in the play. You got to stay in that mindset of like, I got to smack everything moving. You know what I mean? Like, I got to kill everything moving. You get in that like aggressive mindset as a defender because that's what keeps you on edge. And so the fact that these guys are pros and they're so good at what they do is because they know how to lock in that way and switch the gear, flip that switch. It's different than offense. Defense, you got to flip that switch. You know what I mean? You got to really tap into that fiery side. And so I just hate to see, man, when guys just put a little too much sauce, man, on a play and it results in somebody getting hurt. And it's so unnecessary. I play defense. I understand what it means to tackle somebody. When a guy's, especially a quarterback who you're assuming is going to tackle, is going to slide, you assume he's sliding. And you kind of, it's more in the favor of the QB anyways, but that's why the rule book is there. And so you already know to kind of ease up anyways because you don't want to just clean him up because it already come with a penalty. So then when he starts to slide, you understand you can change your trajectory and kind of fly over the top of him. In order to really hit a guy cleanly on a slide, it's almost like getting a ground ball in baseball. You got to down and put your glove on the ground.
Yeah.
You know how low that ground ball comes, so you put your glove on the ground in order to get it, right? In order to hit a guy like that, that's sliding, you have to go to the ground. So he's aiming his trajectory to smash him. And that's why it's intentional. And so that's why when he gets hurt and you see it's one of those intentional, just bonehead plays, like, bro, that ain't necessary, man. Just hold some of that fire back. Like, that ain't quite needed. But it's so obvious, especially as like a tackler. It's like you just kind of looking like, come on, man. You didn't have to do all that, man. And as a teammate, because you know you finna either get the penalty or he gonna get fined or something, you kind of mad too because you need that.
Right.
You need that guy. He looking like, come on, dog.
I can't even get excited on that hit because
man,
the whole thing.
Come on, man. You don't put your shoulder like he's defenseless. You can't get a big high five because, bro, if it's a quarterback, for one, we ain't supposed to be hitting him like that. For two, he's defenseless. He's not even really looking at you. He's sliding like this with his head loose and everything. And here you come, your whole body weight after sprinting from way over there, driving straight into his face with your shoulder, his upper torso. You came in there to do harm and you did it. And so it's just tough to see and tough to watch. But it's the nature of the game. Yeah. That's how it used to be all the time, though. I mean, the quiet is kept. That's why they had to make the changes. That's how it used to be. That's why the Cam Newtons of the world, they got banged up so early in their career because they had to. It's like, I'm going to slide. You can hit me anywhere. So I'm going to run you over as much as I can. Right. Stiff arm you to the, you know what I mean? So they took a lot more wear and tear early. But, yeah, that was a tough play. Long explanation, but I don't agree with the hit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just extremely unfortunate because the thing is, whenever you have these star quarterbacks that are getting injured like this in the NFL, I think about him and J.J. McCarthy got injured, and then you have Jaden Daniels getting injured and stuff. It actually throws off the game a little bit just because now I see why they want to protect these players because you want your star players to play
for sure. It's
good it's good for the sport. It's good for the sport. It's good for the true ultimate chess match that two teams have between one another when it comes to who really is better than who when we're fully healthy.
For real.
But in conclusion, that game ended up being 18-15 Denver. When I was talking about dogs, alphas, and quarterbacks that ain't afraid to run. Well, that's whenever Bo Nix ends up he activates his Jackson Dart / JJ McCarthy willpower. Because that last possession to set them up for a field goal, he toted that field every time. And so
when they need it the most.
when they need it the most, and to that point, what's interesting about Bo Nix? Bo Nix is the type, man, where and the Denver Broncos are slowly starting to make me believe they're built. You better play them all the way for 4 quarters and some, because the thing is, they're built to try to beat you at the end of the game. Like they're built that way. Like they're built where they feel like they truly know they're gonna beat you.
Right.
Like
we coming to get you. We're gonna walk you down.
We're gonna walk you down. I don't care who you are.
Because they learn. They must have really good teachers on the sideline. Teach them on the go. Like, this is what's going on. These are the adjustments we need to make. They must have really good coaching. So I think you see with a team like that, who's seemingly off paper and pound for pound with these other big juggernauts, like, man, how are they steamrolling like that? Kind of like New England too. Now you can attribute to say this is kind of what good coaching look like. Just like when you got a really great roster that ain't performing, somebody's out of there, because that's what bad coaching looks like. When you got a roster like that and they're performing like this, and they're able to walk teams down, that means the energy is only amplified to like dig deep and have grit and make the right adjustments at the right time to overcome, to actually win and beat the other team after they have a lead on you. That's showing a lot from Broncos, man. Denver got a really solid organization situation going on right now.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah, they're going to be one of the toughest teams in the AFC towards the end of the year, because barring injury, just like a lot of them, they're in the upper echelon of teams too. It's weird because it's like, oh well, their quarterback's still young. Nah, he's a super sophomore.
Man,
he's different.
You ain't lying.
Especially when you have Sean Payton as the head coach and a defense like that. Different.
And he's got a little attitude to him too.
That he does.
Another game you want to do?
Yeah, I was about to say, just real quick, this last one. What do you think about that Chicago-Cincinnati game, man?
Read my mind.
Boy, that boy Caleb Williams, man.
Hold on, man.
Man, talk to me. What you think?
Man, he looked good out there.
Man.
I was just looking at him do his thing, and, I don't know. It takes time, right? Not everybody comes in as a phenom. And then we're kind of seeing this trend, other than like a Bo Nix, where they come in and then they have some type of regression where they go through a learning season. So hopefully Caleb's, learning phase is in the past, because it looks like he's getting more and more confident from week to week. And the fact that he's able to put up these points, that means he's able to play consistently throughout the game. I like that new coach with the offensive mind, right? They seem to be gelling and clicking. I like it because we're starting to see the talent that Chicago has on the team. A lot of times teams are underperforming, so we don't pay attention to them, so we don't really know what they're working with under the hood. That's like saying a really good car being assembled, but they just can't find the right driver to win the race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now we see Chicago kind of fine-tuning things, trying to put together a decent defense, even though the defense is struggling, trying to put together a decent offense. It's good to see Caleb slinging that thing around to a lot of his guys. You had DJ Moore even threw in a touchdown pass to Caleb. They're getting creative. I think this might be the second or third week they had somebody else throw a touchdown pass other than Caleb. So the offense, they're opening that playbook. You're starting to see different guys. Mon guy came in for Swift.
A little bit of USC energy.
What?
A little bit of let's just have a little fun. We by the beach, baby. You feel me?
Come on, man.
Let's open the playbook up.
They opened it up. They had a running game going. You know what I mean? And that sets the tone. You got Adunze doing his thing. You got DJ Moore doing his thing. You got Zacchaeus doing his thing. You got two tight ends that get busy on you. That Loveland kid, those 2 touchdowns he played big ball yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He played some big ball. He did, especially at the end when he caught that last second, boom, walk off. Bam, like he should have got
straight down the seam, bro.
That's just how big he is, right? People don't understand. It ain't like that. Them featherweights, they tried to get him.
Yes.
He's just a big body. You know what I mean? He put the lick on him. He just, pop. That was nothing. Then the homeboy had the little arm tackle on him. Nope. Took off and had the wherewithal to know where he was at, not just drop to the ground.
Yep.
Right? Try to eat, whatever, man. Like, that was intentional. And then to have enough speed to get away.
Yes.
Enough burst to, get
out there line. Yeah.
For sure, man. I like what I saw. And then I'll swing it to you, but I really also like what I saw from Joe Flacco.
Man. Joe Flacco.
Oh, man, Joe was out there.
And that's what
letting them know.
That's what the arm that was it was shot up because he was a little sore from throwing the ball so much. But Joe Flacco, man, I'll tell you one thing that I like. Now, this is the thing that's crazy about this game.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco threw to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They both had, 11, 12 catches between each other respectively for over about 250, 230, 240 or 50 yards, somewhere in there
That's
between
how
each
you
other.
use your dogs.
That's how huge their dogs are. But his thing is crazy.
Use them.
If you would have told me T. Higgins had 121 yards receiving, and freaking Jamar Chase had 111 of them things, and they still lost, I would say, man, you crazy. But
that's the Bengals, bro.
The Bengals, their offense is really that explosive.
That's what they do.
That's literally what they do. And to see Joe Flacco, honestly do what he's been doing for that team, it's still promising. Because now they're at 3-6, but it's just the fact that he still puts them in position where they're a home run hit away from winning. Because in that game, it's funny because he low-key threw what seemed to be a pick six at the end of the game, but they ended up calling it back, and then he ended up leading them on 2 touchdown drives. And I think he even shocked himself because he said, "Oh shoot, we winning right now." But it just so happens there was too much time because Caleb Williams, with his Houdini-ness that he does,
to flip around, man.
It finally worked. That's what I was thinking. I said, I know that he's going to eventually figure out how he can use this Houdini. Yeah. Because I know he's been wanting to Houdini. Sometimes he Houdinis when he don't need to. But he's so used to Houdiniing,
he don't know.
But it just so happened that he now figured out how to Houdini. Because yesterday he Houdini'd the right way, and he hit your boy straight down the seam for a touchdown, dog.
But he was just doing that whole game. He was in his hat tricks and that's why he must train with a basketball coach or something. He got like postman moves. He be turning around, finding them, putting it on the string, throwing it fast, precise, putting it right there in the pocket. It's good to see him do what he does. It's good to see him do what we've seen him do. And to your point, it's like he figured out how to Houdini at this level.
Right.
Maybe you got to pick a pace up. Maybe you got to get a little lighter, get a little faster, get a little quicker.
Yes.
Maybe some moves don't work no more.
Yes.
Maybe you got to open up your bag, learn what moves work, put your sauce on them, and then practice and have enough time to actually see, oh, shit, that's getting y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
And know what to do now when you evade that pocket going to the left and the right, trying to create more time. So it's good to see. You're right. That's funny as hell. Houdini.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes, bro. Yeah, that's going to be something where, and you know what, and then just one last thing, for them to score almost 50 points, confidence level for that team has to be through the roof. I don't care that the other team scored 45 or 46 points, whatever it was that Cincinnati scored. It's the fact that y'all put up that many points to win.